my friends, and welcome back to Ration Nerd. It's awesome to see you here, and I really appreciate you spending some of your Sunday with this goofball. Today, we have something really cool to get into. This is a Portuguese Air Force ration. This is a 12-hour individual combat meal, menu number 14. I have not seen one of these reviewed on YouTube before. I have seen a Portuguese Navy ration as well as a Portuguese Army ration, and I also will be reviewing this Portuguese 24-hour Army ration here very soon because I'm super excited to get into it. But today we're cracking into this guy. We're going to see what you get if you're in the Portuguese Air Force or if you're just happen to be issued this ration and what you get for 12 hours worth of food. And we'll see if it's any good. And if you like it to be good, you know what you could do for this guy? You could hit that like button and hit that subscribe button and talk to me in the chat. It's always a great time to hear from you guys. Unless you're telling me I talk too much or you don't like my hands, I really don't care. Because if you think I talk too much and you don't like my hands moving around, then don't watch the fucking video. I don't know what else to tell you. But anyway, and in addition, we will be announcing the ration giveaway winner today, which happens to be this Ukrainian 24-hour war aid ration. This is pretty badass. But we'll do that at the end of the video because I'm just going to make you guys wait. Anyway, let's crack in and see what you get out of a Portuguese Air Force ration. This is really cool. This is a ginormous bag. There's a lot of wasted space in there. I guess they just decided to only make one size bag and stick everything in it. No big deal. And that is just nice and heat sealed at the top. No Ziploc bag, so we'll have to cut into this bad boy. It's a really cool looking bag. I do like the camo pattern on the back. That's pretty slick. Straight through. Alright, I am pretty excited about this. This is a new ration for me, so you'll have to forgive me if I goober out about this here for a minute. So let's see what's on the menu. Well, first thing we get to do is be kind, not only to our face, not only to our nose, but also to the butt, because you get a whole pack of tissues. Look like there is 10 of those guys in there. Choose happy. That's absolutely right. When you can wipe your butt and it's not a stanky, nasty mess, you're going to be a pretty happy guy. So we're starting out right with a pack of tissues. That's good shit. We have we've got some salt just kind of chilling out under the pull tab of that can. Nice to know we get a little salt to season things up. We have a can of fruit cocktail. Pretty cool, pretty basic item. Can looks nice and intact. That's always a good thing. Fruit cocktail in the house. We have a big ass sleeve of crackers. Check that out. Now that packaging probably wouldn't last too long, but I guess if you cut that in half, you have crackers for each meal. Not too shabby, although I haven't had my coffee yet, and I'm kind of wondering, is there coffee in this ration? There better sure as shit be. Well, we have a bag, I suppose, for waste, recyclables, or anything else, maybe just to smother yourself with if things are going really bad midair. That's pretty thin and flimsy. But you do get a bag, I guess, for unused items, maybe to poop in, maybe for your trash, who knows, it's a bag. We have our wooden cutlery for you. Amazing. I hate wooden cutlery, but it is what it is. Let's get it on out of there, see what we got. We have a nice wooden fork, knife, and spoon, so after you're done eating, you can make some arts and crafts with your cutlery set. Not a great choice. They always taste like tongue depressors. I'm a little depressed about that, but it is what it is. And we have another napkin in there, kind of thin, kind of small. That's okay. That's just for wiping your face. You have plenty of other items to wipe other parts of your body, which is always good. That is a nice cream or extraordinarily light yellow colored napkin, but it's a napkin and we'll always appreciate a little napkin action. Then we have a flameless ration heater, not too shabby. Everything I have read and everything I've seen says that these ration heaters work really well. We will definitely put that to the test. Let's see, what do we get to stick inside of our FRH? Hopefully something good. Then we have a big 350 gram sack. What is that? I'm going to butcher it. Frango com vegetas. And that translates to chicken with vegetables, so not too shabby. Not sure exactly what's in there, if there's any kind of pasta or rice in there. I guess we're going to figure it out once we heat it up. We have a 350 gram, kind of thin retort pouch of chicken with vegetables. And there you go, the bean of the gods. Only one pack so far. Here we have some nice freeze-dried coffee to start out my morning. I don't know why I thought doing this ration in the morning was a good idea, but I did. Maybe I screwed the pooch on it. It is only supposed to be for 12 hours, but it's looking kind of sparse here at the moment. There we go. Then we have an ISO Boost isotonic beverage. That is orange flavor. Not too shabby. A little isotonic beverage never hurt nobody. Then it looks like we have a pack of peach jam that ought to go great with those crackers. And another pack of the peach jam. I thought it was going to be different. They totally tricked me. And we have one piece of the big balloon mint gum. That is a very, very large piece of chewing gum. Then we have a piece of Gorilla Power mint gum. So 2 different pieces of mint gum, 1 big balloon, and 1 Gorilla Power gum. That's pretty awesome. I need some Gorilla Power up in my life. Then we have a sanitizing hand towel. Not too bad. A lemon aroma. And then we have a package here that really looks like a pack of sugar. But when I translate both sides of it, it's telling me that it is a pack of coffee. Potentially we have 2 coffees in this ration that really sounds like sugar to me. Maybe, I know the translator is working properly because it says a good cup of coffee to recharge your batteries. And then it just says delicious on this side, which has a picture of a cup of coffee. So either they have some crazy labeling on a pack of sugar. That is definitely a pack of instant coffee. I really think that's a bag of sugar. We'll have to find out. 2 cups of coffee would be way better than 1. And last item in the bag, we have a pair of aqua tabs. So you could treat 2 liters of water with this ration. And unfortunately for this ration nerd, that is everything out of the bag. It is a really bitchin' bag though. Well, my friends, I was really expecting more out of a 12-hour ration. You get a big main for your lunch, maybe a bit of crackers to go with it, and then everything else is just kind of spread out through breakfast. This is pretty cool though. I'm going to get some breakfast, which has coffee, which makes me extraordinarily happy, out onto a tray. And I'll be right back. All right, well, welcome back to breakfast. And the first thing, the absolute first thing, you know I haven't had it. You know I absolutely need it. We got to get into this coffee. So let's check out this coffee. It feels like a freeze-dried coffee in there. I'm pretty damn excited about it. Tear notch not working all that great for me, or my brain isn't working all that great, and I just can't find the appropriate tear notch. Insert the reason you like best right here. I'm surprised that wasn't the part where I stabbed the end of my finger and blood was gushing all over the tray. That would completely be par for the course this time in the morning. And yes, to all those people that worry about my hand hygiene, these are called stains on your hands when you do stuff like repair your pellet stove, which can get kind of black and sooty sometimes. So just fucking deal, because I washed my hands like 100 times. It ain't coming out. I'm not a hand model. Anyway, let's check out this coffee. Ooh, that looks relatively nice. Looks like a freeze dry that's taken a beating. Ooh, that smells pretty good. Let's keep our dirty little dick beaters crossed and find out if this is good coffee. Let's see what that coffee is bringing to my breakfast face. Ooh, we're going to stop that about right there. That coffee keeps getting thinner and thinner and thinner. Uh-oh. Man, I was hoping for a really strong cup of coffee. So let's see if this package talks about coffee and is just the sugar that goes in it. I have a feeling that it is. So what do we have here? Is this some powdered diabetes or is this some more coffee? Nope, that's the powdered beatus. They put a really neat little coffee logo and even talked about your coffee on it. So apparently they wanted you to add this sugar to the coffee, and that's exactly what we're going to do. Who says I can't follow instructions? Some bitches. Well, I have a feeling with as light as that coffee is, I went and screwed the pooch on the coffee boat, but we'll just have to figure it out. And speaking of screwing the pooch with the coffee, let's get a big old sniff of that now that it's hydrated. I mean, it smells okay. I guess the lips are going to have to tell us about the coffee. Let's do that. Man, that's only about 5.5 or 6 ounces of water. And I'm going to tell you what, that is a very, very weak cup of coffee. The flavor is not bad, but because it's so weak, there's really not a lot to talk about. I mean, it's hot. It's coffee-ish flavored. I mean, I don't know if you guys can see that, but to me, it really looks like a cup of tea that you've taken the tea bag out of. I guess I really screwed up and added too much water, but I just couldn't imagine. With Spain being as close as it is to Portugal, that their coffee wouldn't be somewhat similar. I thought maybe there would be like a geographic similarity in their freeze-dried coffee. I was absolutely fucking wrong. That's a damn shame. That's a very mild, very light roast. Probably would have been good with about 3.5, maybe 4 ounces of water. It might have been a little stronger. I'm not really impressed. The ration nerd is definitely going to need more coffee, especially considering we're only getting into a 12-hour meal today. So I feel like I'm under no obligation to have only what's in this ration today. So there will definitely be more coffee in this guy's future. But honestly, that's just kind of okay. okay. Could I drink it in the morning? Could I get accustomed to it? Would I be happy to have it? Absolutely. Is it great? Absolutely not. Let's get into some fruit cocktail. I decided we're having fruit cocktail for breakfast because this is a kind of a sparse ration. I know it's only for 12 hours. There's not a ton of food in here for a active soldier for 12 hours. Now, if you're in the Portuguese Air Force and your job is to sit in a plane for long periods of time and not be moving around, this ration makes a whole lot of sense. But if they're like the United States Air Force and they do have some ground soldiers, even the Air Force has some ground soldiers, believe it or not, this ration probably would not be sufficient. Let's get it out on the tray and figure out this a fruit salad. Yummy, yummy. All of the fruit. I hear a piece rattling around in there. There it is. That is a pretty basic looking fruit salad. We did get some cherries this time. A little splash of that nice, well, pinkish, reddish, pink, whatever. Little splash of color in there, never hurt anybody. This spoon is going to absolutely suck the cock for trying to eat this fruit salad. So I think what I'm going to do is save myself the aggravation. I'm going to get a different spoon because this just isn't going to cut it for this kind of work. And we'll snatch this Polish ration spoon. We'll set that off to the side until we get into that fruit salad. Let's get some of these crackers out on the tray. This is a hell of a lot of crackers for one ration. I'll certainly give them that. But there does seem to be a bit of similarity in Spanish to Portuguese, and it looks like they don't have a very heavy breakfast. A lot of the Spanish breakfast rations are really, really small, very light affairs, with not a ton of food to speak of, although the Spanish coffee is way better. And are we making a mess? Yes, we're making a mess. We might as well just, I don't know, dump about half of those guys out on the tray. I don't know if those 2 packs of jam will be enough to deal with half a pack of these crackers, but we'll go for it. All right, let's save the rest of these for our dinner/lunch meal. Let's check out that peach jam, see what that is bringing to the breakfast plate. Oh, that is a little watery, a little saucy in there. That is okay. And that definitely has some separation. That's got a lot of liquid on top of it. Going to have to be careful with that or I'm going to wear it. Let's get this other one cracked open because we are absolutely going to need all the jam, please. And this one has that same like liquid consistency, almost like it's separated a little bit. This ration, however, is in date, so maybe the jam is just normally like that. Maybe it took a lot of heat stress on its way here. You never know in the shipping process exactly what your ration goes through when it leaves a foreign country to get to you. Let's check out these crackers. These are nice and toasty looking. It's a real sexy looking cracker, to be fair. Nice dark toast on them. And they smell pretty basic. Nothing wrong with that. Check out that cracker goodness for your face. So let's try one of these all by their lonesome, see what they're all about. And that's a very standard, very basic white flour cracker. They are nice and crispy though. They have a nice toast on them. Actually just on one side, because looks like this side didn't see nearly as much of the oven as that one did, which is completely fine by me. They're still nice and crunchy, nice and light and fluffy, a little bit flaky on the inside, which is really great. Let's go for some of this peach jam. Nothing wrong with having a little crackers and jam for breakfast. I mean, quite honestly, I like the whole eating light in the morning for rations thing. The Spanish rations and now the Portuguese rations for the very light breakfast because I'm not a breakfast person, but your mileage may vary. You might be looking at this going, really? Seriously? Some crackers and jam and a little bit of fruit salad and some weak-ass coffee for breakfast? That might be a total bummer for you. For me, having something very light and easy to eat in the morning is certainly the way to go. Wow. Absolutely wow. That peach jam has a really, really vibrant, sweet peach flavor. That's really good. Not nearly as peach flavored as you would expect, although I imagine when you cook something down and make it into a jam, you lose a little bit of that natural flavor that you would get if you just bit right into a peach. I mean, duh, right? But that's to be expected. But this does have a really nice, rich, sweet, vibrant flavor. Very nice. Goes great with these crackers. And speaking of crackers, how you guys doing? Can I make that joke because I'm Caucasian? I'm not really sure. Somebody let me know in the comments if I'm okay to go talking about crackers if I'm a cracker. I mean, I'm not really sure if that's appropriate or not. I mean, somebody's going to school me because that's the way the fucking YouTube comment section goes. Somebody is definitely going to have an opinion about that shit. Can I get away with it if I'm a cracker? I'm pretty sure I can. And let's go ahead and get a bite of this fruit salad. Let's get one of those cherries right off the bat. This is just a basic fruit salad. Unless there's something in here that is just completely ruckus that I'm absolutely unaware of. This looks just like every other fruit salad I've put in my face that's come out of a can. There's a nice little view of that for you. Let's get it in the face. That's actually really cool and refreshing. The syrup is a light syrup, which is nice. It's not overly sweet. A little bit of vitamin C, like citrus kick to this, which is actually kind of nice, to be fair. It's not just like every other can of fruit cocktail I've ever had. There is a little bit more of a citrus flavor in here, but it's still just a basic food item. But that's not necessarily a bad thing. I'll tell you what, this peach jam is really good. You might not think much about this breakfast, and a lot of people would probably turn their nose up at this, but if you're a light eater or a no breakfast kind of person, this is really where it's at for me. Even on days where I'm really doing a lot, I just drink coffee and water until about 1, maybe even 2 o'clock sometimes. But I totally get it. If you're hating on this breakfast because you're like, hey, just crackers? Well, the answer to that question is no. You can have fruit cocktail, or you can eat your whole meal at one sitting if you want to, but I figured I'd break it up into 2 meals, just make it a tiny bit more interesting. Just pour out the rest of that jam onto this cracker, and no point in even trying to go after it with a spoon. It just kind of slides right out of there. Very nice. Well, the fruit salad didn't stand much of a chance, so we're just going to keep on power. Oh man, I might as well just pour this stuff on here. It's really not worth going after with a spoon. We're gonna power through the rest of this cracker and jam action we got going on here for breakfast. I know this is making the most interesting review ever. Well, that was all the food, and before we wrap it up for breakfast, let's check out this big balloon mint gum. This ought to be pretty interesting. I really can't wait to get into the Gorilla Gum. Like, that just sounds great. I don't know why. Just if you put a gorilla on it, that's a great marketing scheme. Just put a gorilla on it, some asshat. This guy will like it a whole lot and it'll sell. And that's a big old piece of gum, not too shabby. Let's chew that up and see what this mint gum's all about. Holy shit. Okay, buyer beware. That gum is like starting a lump of wax. It is really hard in the beginning, really tough to get going. Yeah, I'm working on that. Be careful with your fillings and your crowns. Ooh, now that right there is really interesting. After chewing that up for a minute, it has a nice, sweet, soft mint flavor. Almost a little overly chewy, almost like you're eating a piece of candy, but it's not a piece of candy. Kind of like how taffy gets like real stringy when it's in your face getting all warmed up. That's kind of what this is like, but it's a gum. So I imagine that would be great for getting in and around all the parts of your teeth to help get some food out. So that's kind of a really neat concept, but the gum itself is great. The flavor is off the hook. Really nice soft mint, nice and sweet, crazy soft, chewy, which is the weirdest thing I've ever had in bubblegum. That's pretty neat. I'm not even going to try to blow a bubble because I have a feeling it would just stick to my face. Well, my friends, this was breakfast. Not exactly the most exciting start to the day. This was a really basic bitch kind of breakfast, but that is okay for some, not great for others. Your mileage may vary, as we say very often on this channel. I'm going to sit here and finish up this weak-ass coffee because I really need it, and I'm going to nom-nom on the rest of these crackers I have laying here, and then I'll see you guys in 3 or 4 hours where we'll get into some lunch and wrap this bitch up. Hey, Sling Ration, you down here?
Like what, man? I'm over here taking a nap.
All right, calm down, man, calm down. It's not your time yet. I just wanted to ask you a question, so just chill.
All right, go ahead.
All right, listen. If I'm a cracker, can I say that I'm a cracker? That's not racist, right?
Man, I don't know why you be asking me.
Like, I'm the cracker. Me, I'm the cracker.
Why you be asking me?
And I'm saying I'm a cracker.
Are you trying to race me or something?
There's nothing wrong with that, right?
You're trying to assign me a race? You can't assign me no race, you white son bitch. You can't.
You've been really helpful. Thanks, man. I'll see you at the end of the video.
Yeah, that's right. I don't even know, man. You can't ask me these questions. I'm going back to sleep, man. Goodbye.
And you know what time it is? Actually, you don't. It's actually dinner time here. I just figured lunch really wasn't in the cards for me today. I was a bit too busy. So it's certainly dinner time here in Ration Nerd Land. So welcome to dinner, y'all. And you know what we're having? We're having that chicken and vegetables. We're going to polish off the rest of these pretty decent crackers. We're going to try out our isotonic beverage and get into some Gorilla Power gum. Right after this, I'm going to go pick up kegs and start throwing them down the mountain at somebody. That's a Donkey Kong reference. For anybody that's not old enough to fucking remember Donkey Kong, congratulations, you're not as old as me. Anyway, so let's get into this chicken and vegetables. One thing I did read online about the Portuguese rations is they have excellent flameless ration heaters. I'm not exactly super stoked about this ration after having gotten into it. Breakfast was just kind of okay. The coffee kind of sucked. The crackers and jam were good, but you know, it's not real hard to put crackers and jam in a bag. Let's hope that dinner changes my mind. It's certainly a very sparse affair. It is a nice big 350 gram main though, so let's just get it in the ration heater and see what happens. This is a brand of ration heater that I don't think I've seen before. I mean, I've been seeing a lot of flameless ration heaters in the last couple of years, so I don't think I've seen this one before. Please correct me if I'm wrong. I just have tearing problems here today. And that's a really large stout heating pad that ought to put in some work. It is exceptionally heavy, which is fucking shit, gorilla hands. It is always a good thing when you have a nice big fat heavy heating pad, provided that it works. So let's see what kind of exothermic reaction we're gonna get out of this bad boy. Drop of that chicken and veggies right there. Drop that chicken and veggies in the sack after we reorganize everything. What the hell? All right, there we go. Now let's get some water in this guy. And we do have a nice fill line at the bottom there. That's always helpful. Make sure we filled that to the appropriate line. That looks about correct. So now we have about 10 minutes to spend together. Psych, I'm actually going to pause the camera, but let's see what this thing does while we're sitting here mixing up this isotonic beverage and throwing these crackers out onto the tray. Where did my heating pad go? There it is, down in the corner. Going to move that over to the center, set that off to the side, heating pad down, and let's see what happens with that. Meanwhile, we got this orange isotonic beverage. I am curious as to how many mils of water they want you to add to this thing. Well, that is definitely doing its thing. Maybe they do have really rocking FRHs. Look at that thing puffing out some huge steam action. That's really cool. Hopefully it doesn't fog up the lens like a boss. I can't find anything on the package about how much water I'm supposed to add to this isotonic, so we'll just go at it gently and just add enough water until it tastes right. Let's get a sniff of that thing. That smells like powdered Gatorade. That's not a horrible thing. And don't hate, just hydrate, or you'll probably die at some point in the near future. And that is about 300 mils. Oh, that is about 300 mils. I probably screwed the pooch on that, but you know, we'll figure it out. All right, let's get these crackers out here. I mean, you already know what they're all about, so sorry for the short review, guys. I really didn't expect this to be such a small ration, if I'm being honest. I kind of felt like there was going to be some freeze-dried items in here, as light as the ration was. But then I thought about it, like, why in the hell would you give somebody on a plane a freeze-dried ration? That might be a bad idea, so I just went into it with an open mind, and to be fair, this one kind of let me down a little bit. I know Spanish breakfast rations are really light. It seems like Portugal kind of eats the same way, or at least they feed their militaries the same way. Crackers and jam for breakfast kind of sounds like a little Spanish breakfast ration. I did a review on that, just in case you're wondering. It is in the playlist, so go check that out. And just to be fair, whatever calorie count I put up at the beginning of this video is going to be an estimate. There's no calorie information on the crackers, so that's going to be just a scientific wild-ass guess. Everything else I'm saving the packaging, so that way I can try to get some calorie information off of it. It's just not printed anywhere on the bag, so that'll absolutely be an estimate. I should be somewhere in the ballpark, though. Just checking on this FRH. It has only been going for a few minutes, and the other side, the heating pad is on the other side from where I have my hand. This side of the bag is already getting to a point where it's just about too hot to touch. Like, I can hold my hand on there for just a little bit, and then I got to get it the hell out of there. This FRH is working like a champ. You can see how bulbous the back of the bag is. Heating element really puffed up and got big and crazy. Let's try to give this a mix without burning our... Ow, shit. Without burning our digits. I'm going to give that a few more minutes to heat up. I'll be right back with you guys. All right, so that FRH has been doing its thing for about another 8 or 9 minutes off camera, so we're going to rescue this guy out of there, see what chicken and vegetables is bringing to my dinner face. That definitely got this nice and hot. It is just almost too hot to touch in some spots. That is a good thing. That really is an excellent FRH. Maybe I don't agree with the way they put this ration together, but at least you get some hot food, so let's get it out on the tray. Let's see what that Portuguese chicken and vegetables looks like. Ooh, it did not say beans. It literally just translated to chicken and vegetables. I guess beans are a vegetable. Okay, that is, oh, shit. That is, that's nice and hot, very hot. Whew. That is a good-looking portion of, chicken and beans. However, this retort pouch is a bit on the thin side. That would definitely worry me over time. I don't think these rations would last very long in your ration pantry. Whew, that's still really hot. All right, I'm still not going with that wooden spoon because it's just not happening, so we're back to our Polish spoon. So let's check this out. We have some really enormous white beans in here. That's a decent hunk of chicken. That's one thing I was afraid of. It was going to be all beans once I saw the beans roll out of there. There is not a ton of chicken in here. That's kind of a bummer, but it is in a nice looking sauce, which is probably just the bean broth. There's some peas in there, carrots. That might be a little onion sliver in there. I do like me some onions. Oh, where is the black pepper? A dish like this absolutely must have some black pepper. What in the hell were they thinking just giving you 2 packs of salt? I'm not really sure, but we're going to break into this chicken and vegetables, which looks more like a chicken and bean dish to me. Unless Google Translate is just fucking with me and giving me the dick, which could totally be a possibility. It just translated to chicken and vegetables. So let's bring this up to you guys so you can see the first bite of that chicken and vegetables, which is really chicken and beans. I'm not even upset about it. I just would have liked to have known that I was getting into some beans. Mrs. Ration Nerd probably wanted to know she was getting into some beans too, whether she was eating them or not. That's not very nice. Let's get this in the face and see what this is bringing to my dinner face. And that's got a really nice flavor to it. Desperately needs black pepper, but it still has a really nice flavor. I am going to add some salt to this. It could use a little something, but it's really thick, really hearty, got nice and hot with that FRH. The beans are a little bit on the mushy side, just ever so slightly overcooked. Not that big of a deal though. This is actually pretty yummy. I got a little piece of dark meat chicken in that bite. That was actually really good. Got some peas chilling out in there. Everybody likes peas, right? Actually, no, not everybody likes peas. Oddly enough, that piece of chicken was extraordinarily tough to chew. It was like they had some like the back of the bunch rangy ass yard chicken that didn't get fed a whole lot. Yeah, that guy was, he was a little tough and chewy. But tough ass chicken aside, this actually tastes pretty good. I'm dying for some black pepper. Maybe it's just not a thing in Portugal to put black pepper on food. I'm not really sure 100%. All I know is that this could really use some black pepper. When I have bean dishes here at home, I love to put black and white pepper on them and some hot sauce. But I'm kind of particular about my hot sauce, so I'm not even bitching they didn't put it in here. Some black pepper would have really been nice though. But let's get this salt all mixed up in there, see if we can make a little magic happen with this. Well, that salt's all nice and mixed up. Get a big old bite of everybody, get a big old piece of chicken on there, see if that salt tuned it up a bit. And that salt certainly helped. You know what? We need all the calories out of this ration. This is all we're getting for the day. So we're just going to go ahead and get all the crumbs in there. Dip one of these nice toasty crackers in that chicken and vegetables. Get that bite going on. I have to admit, that really toasty, unsalted cracker is absolutely amazing with this chicken and vegetables or beans and chicken, whatever you want to call it. These little toasty Portuguese crackers are an absolute win. If nothing else, all these crackers will fill me up. I know these are just plain unsalted crackers, but honestly, they have a really good taste to them. And when you combine it with something like this, that toasty, crunchy cracker along with these soft, mildly under-seasoned beans, I'm sorry, but there could certainly be some more seasoning in here. It really helps bring out some flavor. And these crackers might be unsalted, but whatever flour they made them out of, it's pretty tasty. That really nice toast on at least the one side of the cracker goes really well in combination with this particular dish. I like the crackers. I really like the fact they gave you an entire sleeve of the crackers, and you can use them however you want. You can nibble on them throughout the day. You can demolish the jam like yours truly did with a whole bunch of the crackers, or you can have them with your main. It doesn't really make a difference. I'd definitely be interested to see if there's a whole sleeve of crackers in that army ration that I have. I'm certainly looking forward to getting into that guy, and I'm going to do it in the next couple of weeks. I don't care if I'm doing like Portuguese rations back to back. I'm just having fun with it. And speaking of having some fun with it, before this gets cold, let me stop yapping away and start eating it. I just can't do it. I can't get through one review without dropping something on my fucking shirt. It's absolutely out of control. I'm glad I don't eat like that when I go out to restaurants or like I'm sitting across the table with family members I haven't seen in a while. Something about sitting at the ration table makes me eat like an animal, and but you can dress me up and take me out. Oh well, you know what they say. If you're not wearing it, it wasn't good. That's what she said. Big old piece of chicken on that bite. Now that I thoroughly have a face full of bean and cracker cement, this would be a great time to try out that orange isotonic beverage. Let's see if I added too much water to that, or if it's just a really good isotonic. Let's find out. Okay, that's a little bit odd. I like it, but it's still odd. It definitely has a powdered Gatorade flavor. If you've not had powdered Gatorade, well, get out to the store and try you some. You can definitely taste the salt in it. It's not bad at all, though. You can certainly taste and even smell a little bit of that sports drink smell when it comes up to your nose. You don't really smell any orange flavor when you put your nose up to the glass. You just kind of get a hit of that like powdered sports drink smell. If you know, you know. It's kind of almost an undescribable smell. It just smells like powdered sports drink, but it has a really sweet follow-up. I think I probably hit that with about 350-ish mils of water. That's actually really good. It's not the best powdered drink mix I've ever had, but it is an isotonic. It's certainly going to hydrate you and give you some salt content, which you're desperately going to need because these are unsalted crackers, and you only have 2 small packs of salt to come with the ration. I'm really dying for some black pepper, though. Drink was great. Let's get back into this main. This is really filling. It's certainly filling the belly between the crackers and all these beans, and then it's going to fill my ass with a whole lot of gas, and that's going to be tons of fun for later. So I'm not 100% sure why you would give somebody that's stuck in a plane or some kind of aircraft with other people a 350-gram sack of beans. Maybe that's a pastime for the Portuguese Air Force, not 100% sure, but farting on your bros or farting on your fellow soldiers is probably always a good time. Tell me I'm wrong. I don't care how old you are. If you have nothing else better to do, when you shit on another human being, everybody giggles. I don't care how old you are. When you're farting on somebody else, it tends to be a bit funny. Am I a giant child? Maybe. Maybe I am. But you know what? I'm still having fun. And all you snooty, stuck-up fucking people out there that are just too up your own ass, get it? Giggle, giggle. To laugh at a fart every once in a while, I'm really sorry that you're not having a good time with life. Maybe you should just rethink your options. One thing I can say about this ration is they spared no expense on the bag. That is a really cool looking bag, and it's really big. The ration inside of it, I mean, you know, it's just not all that great. Don't get me wrong, I really do think this is decent food. It's certainly very filling. I mean, there's really nothing wrong with chicken and beans or chicken and vegetables, whatever you want to call this. It could really just use some seasoning. They could have done wonders by putting some black pepper in with this ration. It would have made this 100 times more interesting. It's amazing what a little bit of seasoning will do for a main. If it's not dialed into your particular taste buds, you can just throw some black pepper on that son of a bitch and really tune it up. And they missed an opportunity with this one. My butt is going to be singing later. I don't know what it's going to be singing, but it's certainly going to be musical, without a doubt. One thing about this main is as it loses temperature, it really doesn't change that much in its flavor profile. It doesn't get extra thick or greasy or anything like that. So even if you can't heat it up or you don't have enough time to wait for it to get nice and piping hot, it'll pretty much taste the same. And if you're a soldier in the Portuguese Air Force and you don't have a whole lot of time to heat up your main, at least you can still have something decent to eat, even if you only have enough time just to get it kind of like, I don't know, body temperature warm. Because it certainly lost temperature pretty quickly sitting on this tray. Well, that's about it, everybody. This is the last bite of that Portuguese chicken and vegetables on the last entire intact cracker. We'll bring that up for your viewing pleasure. I'm about to slam that back in the face hole and put this ration to bed. And this is one of those, I've been looking forward to a Portuguese ration for a really long time, and it just kind of let me down spoon drop. We will, however, go after the last little dregs of these toasty little crackers, and we'll polish off this sports drink because we absolutely need our hydration, and so do you for that matter. Badonk, that was good. Now it's time for some fucking gorilla power. Absolutely. Check that guy out. That's just great. I don't know what it is about it. Just a little gorilla on there, gorilla power. I don't know. It's just funny to me. I have a very odd, strange, raunchy, I don't know, sometimes childish sense of humor. So something about how a full-grown adult military-age person getting a ration that has gorillas on their gum just kind of trips me out, makes me giggle a little bit. This is very reminiscent of the gum I had earlier, just a much smaller piece. It starts out with this really rough and almost waxy-like texture. Hey, check that thing out. Very interesting. Let's stick this in the face, see if this is just as tough to chew as the larger piece. Maybe I'll get a little break and it's easier just because it's smaller. Honestly, that piece of gum tastes exactly like the piece I had earlier. It's just smaller and it has a gorilla on it, so therefore it's better. If you put gorillas on the package, it's just better gum. There's a gorilla on the wrapper, so therefore it's better. That gum has that really strange, soft, but still chewy texture. Really nice, soft mint flavor. Sweet, yummy. The gum is really good. And this review would just not be complete if we did not check out this moist towelette lemon scented. Let's get that out of there. What's that moist towelette got going on? This is definitely something you're just going to clean up your dick beaters with. You are not going to wipe that butt with this thing, but that is okay. We have a whole pack of tissues. So this is definitely a welcome addition. Very wet, very drippy. Like I could literally wring that out on the tray. Lots of moisture in there. Let's see how it does with the old fingers. Get these things cleaned up. Wash our hands a little bit. Now, it is very thin. That moisture was very nice, though. Really wet. Let's give it a sniff. Oh, damn, lemon grandma. Oh, now it's on my hands. God damn it. That smells like a lemony grandma. That is horrible. And not like lemony yummy grandma, which that sounds kind of weird. Let me redo that. Not like a grandma that smells good. It smells like a grandma that's a little dirty and has way too much perfume on, and then you add some weird lemon smell to it. That's what that smells like, in case you were wondering. It's pretty nasty. I'm not a big fan. I don't like scented towelettes for soldiers at all. I think it's a really bad idea to make a soldier smell like anything, because then the enemy can smell them too. And some people out there have like noses like dogs. Like they could smell your ass from 50 yards away, and I certainly don't think a soldier should be smelly, because that's just a bad idea. Let's check out these tissues. Ooh, they have a nice little print on them. That is a really snazzy print on that tissue. Check these guys out. That's pretty high quality nose wiper, butt wiper, face wiper right there. And speaking of, let's just go ahead and wipe our butt right here on camera. Nope, never mind. Let's just wipe our lips off. Butt, lips, it's all the same. That's not a bad tissue. They're tissues. You know what you can do with them. But unfortunately, I have to say, my friends, that was dinner. This 12-hour ration was interesting. I had breakfast and I had dinner, skipped lunch in the middle. That is completely fine by me. But this ration wasn't all that in a bag of chips. This ration may very well be designed and purpose-driven for Air Force personnel that are going to spend long periods of time relatively stationary in an aircraft. So I guess somebody that's going to be stationary in an aircraft doesn't need a shit ton of calories, but it's also going to be kind of hard to use your flameless ration heater in a plane, I would imagine. There wasn't a whole lot of sides. There wasn't a whole lot of really interesting items in this ration. I hate to say it, except for the Gorilla Power Gum. That was like rock out with the cock out. But it is nice they give you a way to wipe your butt and a way to wipe your face. Keep things clean. That's always important. The cutlery absolutely sucked in this ration. I absolutely hate these fucking tongue depressors. They taste like wood. They're nasty. I just refuse to use them because I don't want the food to taste like a tongue depressor. Where they actually employ these rations, whether it's on aircraft or if they have ground personnel are certainly going to be expending a lot of calories in the process of taking care of the needs of aircraft. So those guys are going to need a much more substantial ration than this. If this ration is made for people that are actually in the air on aircraft, I understand it having a lower calorie count for 12 hours. You certainly don't want to fill somebody up in an aircraft that's going to be stuck there for 12 hours and not have anywhere to go to the bathroom. That could be pretty shitty, literally. And then there's that whole fill 'em full of beans thing. Maybe not the best idea on the planet, but hey, who am I? I'm just a ration nerd. But regardless, it was a hell of a lot of fun to get into this Portuguese Air Force ration, and I'm still really stoked to get into that Portuguese Army ration, just because I've never had one before, even if I don't like them sometimes. This certainly wasn't one of my favorite rations. Regardless of whether or not I love the ration, it was still a hell of a lot of fun. It's not every day you get to crack into a Portuguese Air Force ration, and you want to know what else is fun? The goddamn ration giveaway. Let me move this out of the way, and we'll get on to the drawing for the monthly ration giveaway. All right, and if you stuck around this far, you're an absolute rock star, or you're one of my Patreon members and you're wondering if you won this month. But if you're not a member of Patreon and you're still watching it this far, you know, this ration could have been yours if you join me for $5 a month on Patreon. It's the way that I give back to those people who decide to support my goofy ass, because that's a pretty big ask. So if you join my Patreon for $5 a month, you have a chance at winning a free ration every single month. Until I run out of extra rations, which, looking at the shelf over there, isn't going to be anytime soon, so we're going to be at this ration giveaway for some time yet. But anyway, it's time for the drawing. And we got that ration bucket hat, and we're going to reach in and we're going to grab a name. Oh shit, we grabbed two names. Let's throw one back. Sorry, second name. Dennis Unzicker, you, my friend, are winning the ration this month. This Ukrainian War Aid ration, menu number 1, a 3,911 calories. now belongs to Dennis Unzicker. This was actually paid for by Poland, made by Jamipsa, and shipped over to the Ukraine, and then somehow I got my dirty diggies on it, and now Dennis gets to get his dirty diggies on it. So thank you guys for joining me here on Ration Nerd, where today we got into this 12-hour Portuguese Air Force ration. This was a lot of fun. Was not my favorite ration on the planet. It certainly could have used some extra things. This menu number 14, meh, not so bad. Wasn't great, but it was still pretty decent. And the logo on the bag kind of looks like the US Postal Service on here, so maybe it predisposed me to be angry with it before I even opened the bag, simply because the US Postal Service has kicked the absolute shit out of a bunch of my packages before. I swear to God, they have gorillas working for them, and not cool ones like the little one on the mint gum, but like full-size fuck your packages gorillas as they're hucking them across the warehouse or whatnot. Damn, I can really fuck up a ration table. I need to wash this bitch. Anyway, you guys know how it goes at this point in the video. If you can find something cooler than this Portuguese Air Force 12-hour individual combat ration menu number 14 to put in your face hole, you absolutely know what to do. And if you don't, I'm about to tell you. You eat them up. That's what you do.
Man, I can't really believe that motherfucker was asking me them crazy ass questions. Like, he got issues, man. Maybe he got some white guilt going on. I'm not really sure what's going on. I mean, I ain't even woke, but I was like, damn, dude, why you asking me? Like, you can be a cracker if you want to be a cracker. It's fine by me. I don't give a shit. Like, I'm just the guy that talks at the end of the video. Don't come to me for like political commentary. I ain't no motherfucking social justice warrior. I'm just a dude that's living out his end of the contract to the end of the video. Sling Ration don't care about what the hell you like and don't like. Shit, I don't even think Ration Nerd cares about what people like and don't like. That's why he's always saying some goofy shit. He like, if you want to come along for the ride, cool, come along for the ride. If you don't like him and his talking heads, you think he talks too much, I'm pretty sure he got two middle fingers he want to throw up and tell you to fuck the fuck off. Did I just say fuck? Oh man, we just cussing up in this video. That's alright though. I'm pretty sure anybody that stuck around this long in the video is used to that shit and be like, man, how come Sling Ration don't be dropping the F-bomb all the time? Well, today is my motherfucking day. I'm dropping the F-bomb on all y'all bitches. I'm not even sure if I said the F-bomb on the outro or any of these videos, but if I didn't, maybe I'm just fucking making up for lost time, y'all. I'm just trying to like, man, maybe I'm a little wound up today. That motherfucker made me not eat lunch, and that's a bunch of bullshit. I know that motherfucker don't like to eat till like 2 o'clock in the afternoon, but like this guy's in here starving. Like, bitch, all we had is coffee. I'm like looking around like, damn, there's some crackers over there. Like, shit, we just drove past like 25 fucking places with food and you ain't stopping to get me nothing? Jeez, man, at least you could go to a liquor store and get me a little bottle of something. How about a fucking pack of crackers? You always be eating crackers in your rations. You won't even put a pack of crackers in your pocket for Sling Ration, you fucking motherfucker. Maybe you should feel some white guilt, man. You're just not taking care of me. This is a bunch of bullshit. Maybe there's a helpline for underpaid outro actors that I could call and be like, man, this motherfucker be treating me like shit. And then somebody could just like come and rescue me, you know what I'm saying? Like, because he keeps me locked in a ration dungeon and won't let me get out, like, you know. And then he's always like at work or something trying to do something, and I'm trying to come out and play, and he's like, nah, bitch, stay in your hole. And I'm like, bitch,